Over to you.
Hello, you okay? Yeah. Good, just checking. Thank you. A member of staff says hello, but everyone else as well, we're not so sure. Okay, so first of all, it's fantastic to have won, and it's quite wonderful, but I think it's also worth recognising everybody else that's been shortlisted, everybody else that's been runners-up. It's half the battle is putting in the application, to be honest, and it would be wrong of me to not mention a member of staff called Sally Pope, who isn't here today, but works for Nottinghamshire Healthcare, who is intrinsic in this project. So my name's Jonathan Wright, and I work within the involvement team for Nottinghamshire Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. There's all the words in the right order. So we won for a project called the Story Shop, which is about stories, about people's personal experiences and sharing those personal experiences. It was originally set up as a stigma project around mental health to challenge prejudice. We also now use it as a way of raising awareness and supporting training for medical students and some healthcare, social care students, and supporting some colleges. The one thing I do want to say, I think, about the Story Shop and stories in general is that we use stories to communicate. Stories are the things that help us to make sense of the world. So all of the major religions exist and are passed on through stories. They're massively important to the way we see the world. The Satanic Verses was burnt. It is a fictional story, but it was very important and upset an awful lot of people. These stories, we create personal narratives. 1 in 4 people have a mental health problem, and it doesn't really make much sense until we think of 300 people in a room and 75 people in that room potentially having a mental health problem. We create narratives in our lives, and we make sense of the world with stories. This is a Maya Angelou quote, just because you should always have a Maya Angelou quote. And hopefully this will play with sound. So it's very brief, very short. I was where we only had 10 minutes. But it gives you a visual of what it is that we do. We talk to people, we set up coffee bars ad hoc, and we speak. What I'd like to do instead of listening to me is listen to some of the volunteers that are part of it. So I'd like to first of all ask Ingrid to come up, introduce yourself, and to talk a little bit about how we set up the project. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Ingrid. I'm a carer and I'm also a volunteer for NHS Nottinghamshire Foundation Trust. And I first joined Story Shop almost right at the beginning, about 6 years ago. Our aim at that time obviously was to help alleviate the stigma of mental health by talking to 16-year-old students at colleges, also public libraries, and now we've gone right through to talk to 5-year-old nursing and doctor students at QMC Medical Centre. I feel very privileged to do this, and as I'm a carer, I'm obviously telling my life experience about how medical services were implemented when my husband was diagnosed with bipolar. It was a very traumatic time. I didn't know anything at all about mental health, which I felt was really bad, because I think people should learn as much as they can about mental health. And by telling our lived experiences as carers or service users, we're also helping to educate young students, ones that are aged 16, 17 years. And I found that talking to some of these college guys, there are now quite a few that have experienced mental health, either with friends or within their family. But ones that haven't, it was our way of educating them and to let them realise exactly what mental health is all about. from a carer's perspective and also from a service user's perspective. We've gone from strength to strength, which is really good, and I'm very passionate about the Story Shop and really, really feel great to be part of it. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes. Yeah, brilliant. No, we're over anyway. So the whole point is that we co-produce, we co-design, and we've co-delivered. And I'd now like to ask Eric to come up, introduce himself, and give early reflections of being involved.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is afternoon. My name is Eric Wilson, and I'm a volunteer at Rosewood Involvement Centre in mid-Nottinghamshire. I'm also an ex-patient. I've been in and out of services for 30 years. So over that time, I've obviously accumulated a lot of knowledge and personal experience of services in mental health through good times and bad times. I've had various diagnoses, and I'm now bipolar, but I have had psychosis as well with that. I first came into Story Shop after a serious breakdown only 2 years ago, and I was referred to the Involvement Centre, which is for carers and service users, to get involved in the trust. And one of the things that was on offer was Story Shop. And I went along initially to shadow, but was in the deep end because we were short-staffed. So I was put in front of a panel of 6 at a time, junior doctors in their 4th year medical students. And they rotate round the room, so they have a different service user or carer to speak to them at a time. So you've got 6 at the table. You do that 3 times in the morning and 3 times in the afternoon. It was a little bit scary at first, and I overran my allotted time, but I'm not going to do so today. I'd just like to say thank you very much.
Okay. I'd now like to invite Jules up, who's going to explain what she gets out of it, how it feels. So, Jules.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jules, and I'm an involvement volunteer at the Nottingham Involvement Centre. I've been doing the Story Shop about the last 6 years. I'm one of the new members. For me, being part of the Story Shop means quite a lot to me, because when I was working, I've got a mental health myself. I suffer with personality disorder and also traces of bipolar. So we teach student doctors, we go to the libraries and speak to people at the libraries, and people say to me, I don't know how you can open up and talk about your experience for me, and I think sometimes you have to be ready to do that. So for me, it's been an amazing journey, really, through my experience doing the Story Shop. I enjoy it very much. It's nice to be in a routine. We talk to lots and lots of different students, different ages. Sometimes we can be there doing a Story Shop, and sometimes I get to talk to the students afterwards, after we spoke to them, and some of them say, oh, it's the best NHS foundation trust to work for. At one stage I spoke to some students, and there was a son and father in the same group, which were quite nice, and it was really enjoyable. And you never know really what they're going to ask us, the questions, because they always ask us questions. So really we have to be on top of everything, and we have to really know what we're saying and something like that. I'm very passionate. It means a lot to me. I've got a lot out of it. I feel so fantastic when I've done it. I feel as though I'm in that big, massive bubble, and nobody can take me out of it. And I always say having a mental health is no different than being a normal person. The only difference is that we manage it and we understand it in a different way. I'd just like to thank everybody for listening and wish everybody good luck in their different nominations today. We're really proud and we feel fantastic. We won today. We didn't think we was going to win, because when the finalists come, we thought, oh no, we're not going to win today. But we did, so I'm really proud of it. Thank you very much.
Cheers, I think, I don't know, there should be some other slides, but we'll see. Yeah, there we go. Right, I know we're out of time, I know. So, very quickly, the point of it is that it's co-delivered and it's been co-designed. We started in 2009 and we started working with volunteers, service users and carers who helped us build the protocols and the way the thing works and operates. It's a win-win in terms of what we think. It's people that take part as stories are getting something out of it in terms of supporting their recovery. The people that are listening are learning and sometimes helping themselves get over stigma, definitely giving themselves life experience. We started in 2009 and since then we've spoken to 4,650 people. So we're starting to have, within Nottinghamshire, quite an impact in terms of changing people's views and changing the prejudice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.